Hi everyone, thank you so much for clicking my channel. My name is Ciara LaShawn, and today we're talking about should you supplement with formula. So here's the thing. I've been there. This is a no judgment zone. First and foremost, before I even get further in this video, I must say who this video is for. This video and all the videos on my channel that pertain to breastfeeding at least are for moms who want to breastfeed, who have a desire to breastfeed. Should you supplement? Here we go. Because there are so many different reasons why you may be told to supplement or why you may be wondering whether you should supplement with formula. For me personally, from my personal journey, my daughter, she was born premature. So because she was so tiny in the hospital, she really couldn't afford to lose any more weight. After I had her, my milk supply wasn't really there yet because I just had her, right? And I had her early. My labor was induced. I didn't have a whole lot of milk to give her and she needed to eat. I couldn't expect for her to wait for my milk to come in because she needed to fatten up, right? So of course I allowed the hospital, or I didn't even have a choice. I think they just kind of did it, but they fed her formula because she was so small and she just needed that supply. I want to say this is completely subjective for you all. When it comes down to should you use formula, I think that if it is a situation like that, I don't know what everyone's situation is, but if you have a situation to where the child, it's like life or death, right? Like that your child, he or she needs to be fed, and it's very important, and it's encouraged by your medical professionals. I do think that in those situations, definitely allow formula. However, if your child is older and your breast milk has been more established, but you're wondering if you should supplement with formula because you're like, well, I don't know if I'm pumping enough, or I don't know if I'm feeding enough when they're at the breast, because you really don't know how much they're getting at the breast. And you're like, well, you just ate for 5 minutes. Did they really get enough? If you are supplementing because you're afraid that whatever they're getting from the boob is not enough, or whatever they're getting from the breast is not enough, I would encourage you to maybe not supplement, because as a breastfeeding mom, you should trust that your body is producing enough for that baby. If your baby is consistently at the breast all the time, not all the time, but if your baby is consistently at the breast, let's say every three hours, every 3 to 4 hours, and they're wetting their diapers, it's safe to say that they're getting enough food and that you don't need to supplement. It can get so nerve-wracking because you're like, I don't know if they're eating enough, and trust me, I've been there. So my daughter, she was on formula until we left the hospital, right? We had her on formula. I mean, she was on formula like maybe 2-3 weeks after she left the hospital, but like I was done with that, right? Not too long after that, I was like, okay, it's been 2 weeks, you're getting off of formula. One, the stuff is expensive. Two, I want to breastfeed you. What I did instead of supplementing with formula, which what I would encourage you all to do, is that if you're concerned about your milk supply and whether your child is getting enough, be intentional. I know I hate to sound like I'm telling someone what to do, but really you want to be intentional with having more milk on hand. If you don't want a formula feed, you want to breastfeed, but you feel like you don't have enough milk to breastfeed, start pumping and saving that milk. Now, you don't have to be like the ladies on Instagram and have a fridge full of milk, and I was one of those people, but you don't have to be, okay? Because I'll tell you, a lot of that milk, she wasn't even able to drink because it was just too much, right? If you do that, then at least you'll have more milk for those rainy days, or when your child may not be drinking enough. I can't say much about like whether it's good or bad, so I'm not going to tell you like don't do formula because it's so terrible for your child. I just know that breast milk is the best option, and that if that's what you want to do, you don't have to formula feed. Instead of doing supplementing, nurse at the breast if your child takes the breast, but really focus on increasing your milk supply, not just in your boobs, but in your fridge as well, in your freezer as well. Increase your milk supply so that you have a stash, and not a big stash. I usually tried, when I first started pumping for my daughter, I would usually try to have at least, and it always was more than this, but I would try to have at least 4 bags of milk just extra. So at least have 3 to 4 bags of milk for those rainy days in the freezer. So if you can maintain that, that may just be an extra pump session a day, an extra few pump sessions a day. But when you do that, not only are you increasing your milk supply, so milk supply was an issue, you're actually starting to increase it, but 2, you're actually saving milk for those rainy days so you won't have to supplement. Does that make sense? The whole reason most people are supplementing is because they don't think that they have enough milk. But if you pump, that stimulation on your breast is going to cause you to have more milk anyways. Or if you have the baby at your breast more, it's going to cause you to have more milk anyways. But what I would suggest is that if that's a true concern for you, which it was for me, you could do like I did when I decided that I didn't want my baby to be on formula, because we also did this. We did the supplement with formula because I was giving her breast milk, but then I was also giving her formula because she was premature. After we reached that growth threshold where she was 5 pounds, I was like, okay, I know I hope this doesn't sound careless, but I was like, okay, she's 5 pounds. She doesn't need formula anymore. What I need to do is pump so that I'm able to have some extra. And now don't drive yourself crazy. You don't have to pump every day crazy, but pump like you do like me. I had one day where I just did an all-nighter and I pumped every 2 hours. All night. It worked, right? We never had to do formula again because I had enough milk. Like I said, if you can have at least 4 extra bags of milk for those like rainy days, those drier days, then you won't have to supplement with formula. Does anybody else have any other suggestions that you want to add? Please add them in the comment section down below. I really hope that this is helpful for you. I send you a lot of grace and mercy and love from God on your breastfeeding journey, because I know how hard it is. I know how stressful it is. And if anybody knows that it can be done, I absolutely know that it can be done, and that you don't have to rely on formula if that is not something that you don't want to do. There are other ways to keep that milk supply going and to keep your supply, just have extra supply, more than enough supply for your child. It's natural. It really is. It's so natural. So you're naturally able to provide for your child like this. Thank you so much for clicking my channel. Make sure you subscribe so that we can stay connected, and so that whenever I have new videos about breastfeeding, you will see them and get notified as well. Also, make sure you like this video or comment down below. It really helps with the algorithm to help my videos kind of be seen a little bit more, so I can help other breastfeeding moms on their journeys. Thank you guys so much. Love you guys.